As the cameras cut to commercial, Ivanka leaned toward Jasmine and whispered, "You don't know who you're dealing. This isn't over." But she didn't realize her mic was still on, and within seconds the entire room went silent as the threat echoed live across every network. The air in the auditorium was thick with a polite, almost sterile tension. The panel was a perfectly balanced portrait of American political thought, and at its center, two women who represented two vastly different and deeply opposed versions of power were here. More than 50% of America thinks that we shouldn't be in this position to engage in this fight. Now, once we get control back, listen, Democrats, I need y'all to listen to me clearly. On one side, Ivanka Trump, the very picture of polished, inherited influence. On the other side sat Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, a former public defender and a seasoned trial lawyer. The moderator, sensing the rising unspoken tension beneath a polite veneer, finally called for a commercial break. "We'll be right back," he said, turning to his notes. The stage lights dimmed slightly. The large television cameras pulled back. The panelists began to relax, reaching for their glasses of water. Ivanka Trump, who had just been calmly smiling for the cameras, underwent a chilling transformation. She leaned over just a few inches towards Jasmine Crockett. The audio engineer in the broadcast truck, about to cue the commercial, froze, his hand hovering over the switch. The microphones, and still live for another 2 seconds, picked up Ivanka's voice. No longer the breathy, public EF-facing tone, but a low, sharp, and menacing whisper. "You really need to be careful, Congresswoman," she whispered, her polite smile gone. "These little attacks you're making, they're cute, but my family, we don't forget. This is a very long game. You should think about your future." In the control room, the audio engineer's eyes went wide. She didn't gasp. She didn't get angry. She simply turned her head slowly and held Ivanka's icy gaze for a long, silent moment. Then, with a look of almost pitying disappointment, she calmly picked up her glass of water and took a sip as if she had just been buzzed by a mildly annoying insect. The moderator, oblivious, called the panel back and the lights came up. But it was too late. Within 45 minutes, an audio-only file leaked by the horrified engineer had been posted to a small political blog. By the end of the hour, it was the single biggest story on the planet. The clip exploded across Twitter, Facebook, and every news network. The hashtags #HotMikeIvanka and Therial Ivanka were trending globally. The reaction was not just political, it was visceral. For years, Ivanka had successfully branded herself as the moderating influence, the calm, sophisticated daughter who stood apart from her father's raw, combative style. In one whispered 9-second threat, that entire multi-million-dollar brand identity was annihilated. This was not the diplomat. This was, as one pundit would later famously say, the same family, just in a better suit. The audio was so devastating precisely because it confirmed what her critics had always claimed. One unique element, the presence of the president's daughter, Ivanka Trump, and her relationship that beneath the polished veneer of civility was the same cold street-level intimidation. The fallout was immediate and catastrophic. Ivanka's team, in a state of pure, unadulterated panic, issued a frantic, fumbling denial. It was a misunderstanding. A spokesperson claimed Ms. Trump was offering a piece of friendly, collegial advice about the tough nature of Washington politics. The public's reaction was universal mockery. Friendly advice, one viral tweet read, is telling someone they have spinach in their teeth. Telling them we don't forget is a threat. The White House was silent, a clear sign that they had no idea how to spin a disaster of this magnitude. But the most powerful response came from Jasmine Crockett herself. She did not hold a press conference. She did not go on a rival network to spike the football. She waited until the next morning when, in a previously scheduled committee hearing, she looked directly into the CSP camera and gave her official and only reply. "I have been asked," she said, her voice calm and strong, about a private conversation that was unfortunately made public. "I will not comment on the private intentions of another individual, but I will say this. I have spent my entire life as a public defender and as a member of Congress speaking truth to power. I have been threatened in courtrooms by men far more dangerous than anyone in this town. Once we get control back, listen, Democrats, I need y'all to listen to me clearly. When I say that once we get control back, we have to be just as aggressive, if not more aggressive. I was not intimidated then, and I will not be intimidated now. The American people are tired of a political class that believes they are above accountability. My focus is on my work." It was a masterclass in dignity. She had not stooped to Ivanka's level. She had risen above it. The contrast was devastating. Ivanka's whispered threat was the sound of fragile, insecure power. Jasmine's public reply was the sound of real urns.